Hi, everybody. Good morning to you. Thank you again for joining us on this morning. I am Chayla Mendes, and as usual, we always bring a special guest to be here with us to help us gain knowledge. And I'm so happy to have Janelle back with us. How are you today,
I'm
love?
doing great. Thank you for coming in and taking part in the exhibition.
Well, I know this is very important. Biodiversity is also right up your alley because you are with the Department of Sustainable Development. And one of the key things is people may know about biodiversity and we hear about climate change.
Right.
But what is the relationship? What is the link there?
Right. Well, climate change impacts our biodiversity because when you have all these hurricanes, you would find a loss of our living things, our plants get damaged, animals get lost and displaced, our fishing sector is also impacted. But very interestingly, biodiversity also has the capacity to allow us to adapt and mitigate the impacts of climate change. Very, very simply, you plant a tree, trees use up carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is one of the main gases contributing to the heating up of our atmosphere. So you plant a tree, it takes out the carbon dioxide, and very simply, we have one means of dealing with climate change. Of course, trees have multiple benefits. So they are windbreaks, they retain soil, they help to conserve water, and all of these are very important in the times of climate change. Climate change would result in more intense hurricanes, in periods of drought or intense flooding. So our natural resources, our biodiversity will help us to be resilient to these impacts of climate change.
Now, I really love how you phrase that because it's easy to digest and understand. And it's so true because sometimes we tend to overlook the simple things and not realize how great of an impact it would actually have on us.
Absolutely. Right now, on the inside, we have the policymakers detailing what steps we as a country will take. And so we're looking at the big things, our infrastructure and so on. But on the outside, on the fringes of this, we're talking to the youth and telling them simple things that you can do. You can plant a tree, you can have your own garden, you can buy local food, and all of these will help to make us resilient against climate change. They can have a pet in their yard and take care of it. You know, there are many, many simple things. Put the garbage in the right place so it doesn't find itself in the oceans, harming our fish and so on. And so the kids are really having a good time seeing practically what they can do in terms of climate change.
And even with that, and I think being this hands-on with them is what they need, especially to engage the youth. To bring a topic like this is so serious, but you have to present it in a way that's interactive and fun for them. Other than that, they're probably going to tune out.
Yes.
So a lot of viewers too probably are watching, and we keep using the term biodiversity. And sometimes I think some people may not clearly understand what it is, and it's actually not as complex as you think.
It's bio, which means life, and diversity, which means variety. So it's the variety of living things. Like they say, variety is the spice of life. If we have different kinds of living things, we are able to maintain our livelihoods, our life. We have different kinds of trees. We have golden apple, guava, mango, bananas, all sorts of things. So if there's a storm and we lose all of our bananas, we still have something to fall back on, So that is where the variety and the diversity is very, very important. And the kids can relate to it. Biodiversity is all around us, like they say all the time. And today somebody said, including humans. So yes, humans are also part of biodiversity. It's all of us.
Now, I'm just loving this. It's always refreshing when we come to you because I feel like we're always picking up on something new. But what is the key thing, especially with you all at Sustainable Development, what is the key message you want St. Lucia to take away from this today?
Oh boy, you will edit this bit. I think it's important for St. Lucians to realize just the wealth of resources that we have. For example, you'll see behind us, we have alternatives to styrofoam right now. And one of them is made from paper. One of them is made from banana leaves, from banana waste. There's some that are made from sugarcane waste. So instead of using these harmful styrofoams and polystyrenes that can affect our health, we now have a natural alternative. It's not made locally. So that is an avenue that people can start thinking of. With styrofoams being banned as of December, as our minister has announced, what are the other alternatives? Paper, bamboo, sugar grass, silver grass, all of these things are options that we can have. So I think the key message is that we have these resources around us. Let's look at what we can do, what we can use it for. It's been given to us for a reason, and all of these plants, even though the ones we think that are just bush, all of these plants have value, and like our science says, biodiversity is vital for better living. We can make medicines, we can treat cancer, we can have these beauty products for our nails, for nice hair, hair and shiny teeth and all of those things. We really just have to explore these resources that we have.
Well, I could not have said it better myself. So there you have it in a nutshell. This is all about biodiversity. Climate change is real. We can adapt to it. So let's keep on educating ourselves. And of course, if anybody wants more information, how do they contact you all?
Well, there's a climate change website that's up and running and has a lot of material on some of the plans that the country is putting into place. So it's climatechange.govt.lc. You can also call our office 451-8746. That's the Sustainable Development Office. Or check us out on Facebook, Sustaining St. Lucia 411.
Good. So there is no reason for you not to be in the know. So the power is in your hands, St. Lucia. We'll see you next time. Wake up, everybody. Good morning to you, St. Lucia. It is another day, so it means another chance for us to wake you up in the know. And trust me, you want to make sure you have your coffee, you're wide awake. Right now we have Daniel here with us. So Daniel, just introduce yourself and let St. Lucia know who and what organization you're representing for.
All right, good day, everyone. I'm Daniel Campbell, and I'm representing the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. I'm a civil engineer with the Environmental Sustainability Cluster.
Now, this is the point where you need to stay tuned. You need to make sure that you really focus on kids. Get your pen and papers out because this is going to be important. And right now, climate change is something you hear so much from local, regional, international news to ways to prevent it, ways to slow it down, and in our conversation, ways of adapting. So first of all, what is the aim and purpose of the cluster right now?
Well, the aim of the Environmental Sustainability Cluster is really to promote and develop initiatives to improve our adaptation, our management, and our sustainability when it comes to issues with the environment, right? So we're looking at different sectors. So we're looking at everything from ocean governance and fisheries to sustainable energy to how we are going to improve our disaster management systems, our climate change adaptation and mitigation systems, and we're also looking at biodiversity and ecosystems, which is extremely important in the Caribbean.
Now, please share the fun fact, because again, this was a lot of before on-camera information, but of course you did mention to me in terms of biodiversity that the Caribbean is #1.
Yes, a lot of people don't realize this, but overall the Caribbean is the most diverse, biodiverse place in the world per capita. When we're talking about the entire Caribbean, the flora and fauna combined, both on land and marine. Yes, so that's one thing we have to not only be knowledgeable of, but work hard to protect because of its importance.
And I'm happy that you have enlightened us, because I feel that gives us even more responsibility. Even though in the grand scheme we may be tiny, it still is important to us. Now, of course, I know you have a very important message that the region, St. Lucia by extension, we need to know. So where do we start off with this?
All right, so we could start off from the area of sustainable energy, which is the stand I'm in right now here. Sustainable energy, it's all about finding ways which we can not only be efficient in our energy use, but we can also look for ways which we could conserve energy better. In other words, we use less energy we use as little energy as we need to. We are efficient in the way we use the energy. And also we look at renewable energy instead of the traditional oil and gas and so on, fossil fuels. We look at how we could harness solar power. How could we harness geothermal energy? How could we start to use technology such as electric cars, vehicles versus the traditional vehicles that we look at. We have hydroelectricity, which is important in a lot of our regions. So these are some of the things we're looking at.
Now, I'm happy you touched on that, because even the age-old story of solar energy, the debate has been on as well that, we're in the Caribbean, we're known for sunshine, and we should be making a lot of use of that resource that we have so much in abundance, because we don't even experience the seasons as other countries do. So looking at ways to have greener energy is something that I can say in St. Lucia I've been seeing more often. Like you mentioned, electrical cars, we've seen that recently being introduced. So you can see it slowly coming on into the islands, but of course I know we still have more to come. But it is what's going to help us become greener islands, I suppose.
Definitely, definitely. I completely agree with this, and I think it's all about, comes down to our both our political and community will. For example, there's a St. Lucian inventor from Labrie who recently patented a mobile desalination plant, and this thing is not just mobile; it's solar powered. So it's completely solar powered, and recently he has he has shipped off a unit to a Pacific island, Nauru, who has seen, the merit in this thing. So he had this idea, which was driven out of the need for his community, and he was helped by the good folks with the Jeff project, and he was able to develop his idea and now have this into an idea that could be it's the first of its kind worldwide.
St. Lucia, so guess what? This is just the tip of the iceberg for you. But we're going to bring you some more information. And trust me, that next one is going to be interesting. We're going to bring you the ties between the oceans, biodiversity, and how. Hi, everybody. Good morning to you, St. Lucia. Of course, we know it's Creole Heritage Month. I have Jean Cooper here with me, and of course, representing very well with her Madras. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you.
Great. And I want to say good morning to everybody from Choiseul because we are bringing you some creativity. It's Choiseul Crafts, and Jean is representing for a cluster that is called Catch. Now, this is that moment, of course, being Creole Heritage Month, to really celebrate being St. Lucian. So why not do so by stocking up on more locally made products? So, Jean, first of all, tell us a little bit about Catch and what it is that you all do in Choiseul.
Catch is a group which is formed by a few of us, about 50 to 60 members. So we are doing different items like the straw hats, which is made of the screw pine. In the patois name is Panama. We make the hats, we make bags, we have table mats, we have tube coil, we have a lot of different items.
And I do see a variety. And with that, it's very trendy too. Because right now, people, when it comes to engaging our culture, it's also about, creating the next level of that. And I can see from clutches to purses. I mean, how difficult is it for you all? When we're looking at just what you are creating with the screw pine, how difficult is that process for you all?
It's not that difficult with us because we have been doing it a long time. I started from school, watching my mother when she used to do it, but now we are doing it in different ways. We are not doing the way they used to do it. We are doing it on our own. We just checking our mind.
Great. And that's what I'm loving because you are taking something that is traditional and, of course, giving it that modern twist because these are definitely some varieties that I've not seen before. Now, of course, I know we have some other work here, like I'm seeing, pottery work, clay work. So tell us about that.
The pottery is made by Irene Alphonse. She's not there right now, but I took some of her work. So she have different shapes. She have lampshades. You can see. Even we have Serena with a tennis bat. We have the cricketer. We have frogs. We have lampshades, different shapes.
And of course, last being here, I'm seeing some crochet work as well, which I know everybody is falling in love again with crochet and these sort of crafts.
The crochet is done by a little lady, from PI, and she does it very neat. Mm-hmm. She have earrings. She have her earrings, bracelets, vests, things like that.
Yeah, and I'm seeing even like stuffed animals out of that too. And I feel like there's just something for everybody because even as we speak to my eyes falling on a pair of earrings that look like they're just speaking my name. And this is what, everybody's loving. Just the creativity that you can get out of all of these things. Now, for you all being out of Choiseul, how important is it for you all as part of Catch to keep on doing what you're doing, kind of keeping our culture alive through the crafts that you all are making?
I myself am very proud of my work because everything I bought at my home is from craft. Craft money all the way.
So why do you think St.
I
Lucia?
send my children to school on the craft.
Now you see that's a really big message here that we have here. All of these things are from locally made products, and this is your livelihood. This is taking you places. It is helping you sustain yourself and your family. So what do you have to say to other people out here in St. Lucia, about getting creative with what we have right here on the island?
We have encouraged a lot of young people to see if they could come into craft, but they refuse.
So what do you want to say to them? Give them a
So I'm
message.
urging them, if I can go that far with craft, they also can do it too.
Now, I know by now everybody is itching to know how they can get in touch with you all. Do you know to get their hands on some of the lovely pieces we've seen?
To get in touch with we the people that are making craft, I'll give my number. My number is 487-5595 or 520-9326. And my address is Cafe Choiseul.
Perfect. Well, this is exactly what we wanted because you know what? It's Journée Creole, Creole Heritage Month, so everybody wants to make sure that they have what is necessary. So make sure you support your own, support local. Head down to Choiseul. You can make it a lime to visit them, or if not, call Jean and she will get you in contact with all the other ladies of Catch and whatever you need to get to be all set and ready to represent for Journée Creole come month end. And it is always a good morning right here on This Morning. And this is what we want to keep giving you, the good energy, positive vibrations, of course, reminding you to always keep it locked onto your leader. And with that, we could only be the leader because we have so many of you who are part of our family. So good morning again to all our special people down in Choiseul, the Choiseul Crafts, the Catch Group, and of course, everybody across the island who keeps showing us love, because you know what? This is what we appreciate. It keeps us going, and we recognize it, and we appreciate you. So this is what we want to do, and make sure, of course, you make the most of today, because just a little reality check for you. It is just about 2 months left before the end of the year, okay? So that's your wake-up call. So today is the moment. No other time like now. Let's wake up, get up, and take action today. And of course, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just search DBS Morning Show and you will find everything you need to know, everything that you may have missed, and all episodes you want to relive again. So with that said, I'm Chayla Mendes wishing you a blessed day. Go out and be amazing, everybody, and make sure you come back to us for our Midweek Wednesdays.